good morning, good noon, good evening, wherever time and place you listen to us from, straight from the 909. It's Mark.
Hey, yo.
Ali.
What up?
Myself, Nesquick, and together,
That's hip hop.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. It really means a lot. And we're so close. We're 5,000, like, we're not 5,000 away. We're close to the 5,000 mark. So if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's just really a click away. Or if you have a friend or somebody you know who would be interested in the episodes or in hip hop, please share and like and subscribe. Do all of it. We need your help. But today we're talking about one of the best duos to ever do it in hip hop. Hailing from the West Coast, Daz Dillinger and Kurupt covered a signature rapping style that blended raw aggression with effortless funk-inspired smoothness. Their delivery embodies the essence of 90s G-Funk. Really, it does, because they were part of the Chronic, with Doggystyle, and then their album, 90s G-Funk. It was marked by laid-back yet razor-sharp flows with over thick bass lines, melodic synths, and cinematic production. Daz brought a gravely streetwise cadence rooted in the streets of Long Beach, while Kurupt countered with a rapid-fire lyricism, complex rhyme schemes, and East Coast influence precision. A rare balance that gave the duo both regional authenticity and national appeal. Together, they mastered the art of the back-and-forth verses, trading bars with chemistry and confidence that made each track feel like a cipher among brothers. Their legacy runs deep in the fabric of West Coast hip-hop as key players under Death Row Records. What a legendary label, man. Mm-hmm. And most recently, they put out an album together under Death Row Records again.
Yep.
That's dope. Tha Dogg Pound stood alongside Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and Tupac during the label's golden era, helping to find the sound of an entire coast. Their 1995 debut, Dogg Food, wasn't just an album. It was a statement of independence, marking the rise of artists who could produce, write, and perform at elite levels without industry hand-holding. Beyond their own discography, Daz's production work and Kurupt's lyrical influence shaped future generations of MCs, from gangster rap veterans to underground lyricists. Today, the Dogg Pound's name remains synonymous with authenticity, resilience, and an unapologetic spirit of West Coast rap at its purest form. We're talking about their debut album, Dogg Food, released October 31st, 1995 by Death Row Records, Interscope Records, and Priority Records. That's to have those three behind you backing you. Yeah, you got to seize that. You got to seize that opportunity. Yep. The album features guest appearances from Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg, man, Michelle, the Lady of Rage was on this, Trey D, Mr. Malik, man. Singles were Let's Play House, featuring Michelle and Nate Dogg, Respect, and New York, New York, featuring Snoop Dogg. It debuted at number 1 on the U.S. top R&B hip-hop albums and Billboard 200 charts on November 18th, 1995. The album sold 278,000 copies in its first week. Though Dr. Dre was Death Row's top producer, the album was mostly produced by Daz Dillinger. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Yep. This was like the first big Death Row album that Dre really didn't touch, and yet it still succeeded. That it just added more depth. It's like having a bench that's depth, you know? Yeah.
The length of this album was 71 minutes and 19 seconds. This album was chosen by Ali. Ali this time. Ali, why did you go in this direction? Why did you choose the Dogg Pound?
Yeah, I felt like it was time to touch on one of my all-time favorite MCs, Kurupt, and I feel like the Dogg Pound debut was really the first true showcase of him as an MC, and with Daz as a producer, and also Daz has some dope verses as well. But like this was like I feel like the true showcase of what they bring to the game, what they brought to Death Row. Dre and Snoop were like the heavy hitters, but I feel like Dogg Pound, kind of like how you just mentioned, like they were like the guys that came off the bench but could drop 30.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Solid players.
You know what I mean? Like they're like just like having 2 6-men in a year on the same team.
Yeah.
And they come off together and drop, a classic debut. It had just passed the 30th anniversary, so that's another reason why I chose it. So I just wanted to celebrate this album, give it its just due, and I feel like this is the the Death Row album that gets the classic Death Row album that gets mentioned the least, but was every bit as great as Chronic, All Eyez on Me, Doggystyle. I feel like Dogg Food is like that fourth Mount Rushmore of Death Row albums.
At the peak of the golden era, Death Row's highest. And then also too, right in the middle of criticism of gangster rap. So you had that taking place, and then you also had what else? The East Coast West Coast beef going on. Like this is, I think it dropped like literally after Suge, kind of disses
on the Source Awards. Yep, this was literally months after that. That
so
infamous
talk
Source
about
Award.
like I know it doesn't seem like that for those who are like listening in this album. Like you don't have that context just jumping and listening to it. But the time that it came was a very hot time.
Crucial.
Very, very hot.
Time.
I mean,
and it was an album that needed to exceed expectations, because after you're listening to it and you realize, hey, Dre didn't make a lot of these beats. No, it was actually the other person rapping that's not Kurupt, Daz Dillinger. So we needed something. I'll say Death Row needed an album to exceed expectations, because you can't rely on Snoop Dogg all too often. Now you have this. Now you have Dogg Food actually exceeding expectations and really taking everyone by surprise. To me, that's how it felt.
Yeah, I like the fact that they were also very integral parts of the success of Chronic, the success of Doggystyle, and just the whole movement. Like these were Death Row guys that you could count on and be like, hey, Kurupt, you got something for this? Hey, Daz, you got an instrumental or something I could like pick your brain on? Like, like to do a record like It Ain't No Fun,
right?
Is getting man, that is
Smashes.
A huge record. Or to do that, The Regulators with Nate Dogg. Man, these are big time sing along, catchy club like anthems that you could put on today and it hits like if it was dropped yesterday.
100%.
Like, to do that is something really special and remarkable. And you're right, they kind of go under the radar. As far as like, they're not like as, I would say, like, Snoop gets a lot of shine just because he's Snoop.
Right.
Dre, a lot of shine, but these guys are the kind of the backbone of Death Row Records and help really bring depth to their movement.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, to drop New York is ballsy.
Right. And I mean, we'll get into kind of some background on that record. Right before we get into that song, but that song, it ended up becoming this whole other thing, sadly, kind of because of misunderstandings, which a lot of the East West was a lot of misunderstandings that they seem to just compile on each other. But this song is one of the marks of that East West friction, if you will.
Yeah.
And like I said, we'll get into more background right before we get into the song, but just kind of some, kind of a preview that record was very huge in the East West, turmoil, if you will.
And it's crazy because there was also delays in this project even being released because politicians were fighting this. Those who were with like Bob Doyle, I think it's Bob Dole, excuse me. Bob Dole. Were like really fighting Warner Brothers about releasing gangster rap or releasing this before they even heard it. They didn't even hear it, and yet they're fighting this and calling it filth. And they actually had to go with a different distributor other than Warner Brothers, which was Priority Records, to actually get it done and get it released. Which is
hip hop
story. Right?
Hip hop was really fighting a lot in the 90s, in the early 90s, because this is fresh off of Luke Campbell, winning. Going against the Supreme Court, Like they took it to the Supreme Court to basically ban his not just his music, but it could have ended up ending hip hop.
Right.
You know what I mean? But obviously he won because First Amendment, freedom of speech.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like hip hop really fought a lot of battles, even just to get where we are today. And the Death Row movement was, knee deep in all of it, what I mean? For better or worse. They were, like I always say, for better or worse, because on the positive side, Suge is the first rap CEO that made $100 million. before Puff, before Jay, before Birdman, before Master P, any of them. Yep. The first one to reach 100 million was Suge Knight. You know what I mean? So that's the positive side of it. You know, the negative side of it, unfortunately, was, you know, he tried to run his record label like a gang. And obviously that, you know, didn't end well, unfortunately. But in all of it, we got a lot of great music out of it.
We
you
did.
know what I mean? So it's like
that,
in the midst of all the craziness, we got some classics, and Dogg Food being one of them.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because these both of these guys were actually helping the Chronic as single representations of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not going in as a duo.
Right.
They came in separately, trying to offer a hand in creating this music, and then the chemistry was just undoubtedly there. And then they formed. Well, it was from Snoop.
Yeah,
Snoop called it
yeah,
Dogg Pound.
Snoop put them together.
He was calling this house the Dogg Pound. You know, with the Dogg Pound. And then Daz was like, "Why don't we just run with that? The Dogg Pound."
Yep.
And then they officially come out with this album as officially the duo, the Dogg Pound, which is, it's dope because some will credit the Chronic as being the preface or the prefix of Doggystyle, right? That it kind of came out of that. But the sounds of this album, it almost sounds like this is kind of the mother of Doggystyle. Like it's just the same kind of vibe, you know. I could argue that this kind of was the kind of that vibe before, like, you know, this came out after though, but but as far as like the style, the vibe,
it represents it more.
It feels like Doggystyle kind of falls more in this lane than it does the Chronic.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know? That's what I feel like. But West Coast, these two
through and through,
100% represent West Coast, man, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
these two represent the West Coast
hard
like that,
and it's crazy too. Even more so with Kurupt, and we'll get into it when we talk about his style. But I mean, he's originally from Philly. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's something that, you know, I didn't even know until I think I found that out in high school. Yeah. You know what I mean? But for years, I just assumed he was from LA or something. But he's originally from Philly. Came to Cali at 16. And, you know, by the time he started rapping, that's when he really started to hone his skills. And
now that kind of makes sense because his style does mimic
very
East Coast style.
Very much so.
It's very technical and stuff. Yes. And I was like, for a West Coast guy, there's a lot of technicality in it.
And that was important too with this album to, you know, as great. I mean, Cali was putting out bangers and classic albums and outselling everybody. But there was a lot of criticism on the lyrical side. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Kurupt, even though he's originally from, you know, Philly, he claims the West and the West is his home. And, you know, to show, I always said the most dangerous type of MC to me is a West Coast MC that can rap like an East Coast MC. Yeah. When they bring,
albeit Exhibit, you know,
right, like an
Kendrick.
Exhibit or Kendrick, any dude that comes with that West Coast kind of like that bang mentality, but got the skill level of a New Yorker or a Philly dude or a Jersey dude, that's a hard MC to go against. Because not only do they have the technicality, it's a different energy when they bring that kind of, you know, West Coast from, you know, even if weren't in a gang, but it's just the mentality of being around it and seeing whether it be, you know, Mexican gangs, Crips, Bloods, whatever, they've all seen what that can bring and the energy that comes out of that in the music. So Kurupt is one of those dudes that is hard to go against. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because lyrically, he's incredible.
Yeah. He was just like ice skating, man, all over these beats.
Man.
This is probably one of the best I've heard him as far as like technically precise and lyrically sound. Had a lot of depth to him, throwing punchlines.
And I think his most underrated quality is his vocabulary. Yeah. And we'll get into it, especially on New York. And
it's crazy because like he'll say like cuz a lot, like on Drink Champs.
Yeah, when he's speaking.
But the dude is smart.
Very.
Very smart.
Very.
So is Daz too. Daz is very smart too. But their chemistry is cool. Like, you know, they ended up breaking up, I think, for a while.
Yeah, they
ultimately get back together.
They squashed their issues, and they had some issues because the issues came because they all left Death Row. Right. But then when Suge tried to kind of rebrand it, Kurupt went back.
Yeah.
When Kurupt went back, that's when you got Snoop and Daz having issues with Kurupt for going back with Suge.
I see.
So for a few years, it wasn't cool with them. eventually, you know, it all kind of folded and, you know, they squashed it. And obviously they've been good over 20 years now.
Yeah.
But there was a brief, I would say 3-4 year period where they wasn't fucking with each other, which was a shame because, you know, we could have used that in that time frame when the West Coast really wasn't doing so well. We could have used those two being together. You know what I mean?
And Daz is actually the cousin of Snoop Dogg.
Right. They're first cousins. Yep. You know what I mean?
Interesting fact.
Their whole story is just incredible because you got, like I said, you got Daz, who's Snoop's cousin, but then you get Kurupt, who Snoop meets, you know, out in LA, you know, freestyling and doing ciphers. And Snoop, when he first came across Kurupt, he was like, man, this is the first dude I ever saw. I was like, I think he might be better than me. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, huh?
That's crazy. He was like, he's just slicing through these dudes.
Because you remember Snoop Dogg at that time, his voice was impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
he could say anything and it'd be.
And he felt, he was like, man, this dude is. He said he might be better than me. But then Kurupt in the same, you know, interview, he was like, well, he said, see, I felt like you were better because he said my rhymes were harder, but you said them better. You know what I mean? So like, you was just so slick with your style, but you know. With me, I was just coming in, just guns blazing, you know, with my rhyme styles, and that's why Daz to me was so perfect to put with him for that balance.
Plus the production,
with the production, and he's one of the most underrated producers in all of hip hop. Forget the West Coast, just period.
Yeah, because he brings a live instrumentation in it. So he knows how to do that, and probably watched Dr. Dre, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I took something from him. I just heard a rumor. It's just a rumor, y'all. This is not fact. This is a rumor. But I heard a rumor that the Lox might be doing an album produced by Daz.
That's crazy.
Which that could be insane.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Yeah, just a rumor, y'all. Relax.
That's dope.
Right now. I think another point to bring up too, with trying to at least bring a timestamp to this album, is the fact that even the hip hop environment at this time was very stacked in many ways, in many areas, but none more important than the actual record label that they were at itself.
Yes.
So the
Tupac
for you to act,
Snoop,
because Tupac's album's right around the corner,
Mm-hmm.
and so this is a lot. There's a lot riding on this. Right. There's a lot riding on them for Kurupt and Daz to succeed, and
100%.
They knock it out of the park,
man.
Yeah, and their discography is crazy too, man. These guys been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I love the work ethic. I love the fact that they can get in the studio and just lay it down. You know,
Mm-hmm.
They're bold with it, but then they're themselves. They're authentic. Why do you think they didn't? Why do you think they're not as like blown up? They're like superstars. Why do you think they're not like superstars?
I think it's a personality thing. Yeah. I just think that, you know, while as MCs, as artists, they're as great as anybody you can think of. But I just feel like I look at like Daz compared to like Dre, he didn't have that it factor star presence that a Dr. Dre has.
Yeah,
or like,
and that's fair too. Because not everybody's gonna have
not
that.
Everybody's gonna be that. You look at Kurupt, you know, as insane as he is lyrically, and he's a star in his own right, but he's not Snoop.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Snoop.
Look at Inspector Deck. Dude is crazy lyrical, but he's not.
But Meth is different.
Yeah.
Ghostface, there's a different it factor you kind of have to have.
Yeah.
And it's hard to even explain. Like you can't just, you either got that or you don't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And you're still dealing with the hierarchy of the label.
Yeah,
are you
plus
gonna,
that, like
Daz produces, and then you have Snoop being the best out of the pack at that time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And are you really gonna try to, you know, is the label itself gonna try to boost them up, or who's been making more sales at this point? Who's your anchors? Who's your superstars of the franchise? You know what I mean?
At this point, Snoop is the highest selling rapper in rap.
Yeah.
Around this, like he's literally during this time, he's the biggest star in the rap game. Like
and it's
no
funny
one
because he
bigger than
doesn't
Snoop
overshadow them on this album either.
Correct.
He was his presence on this record is perfect. He's on it enough
to let them shine,
to where you feel Snoop on this, but not so much where he overpowers it. Right. I think he may have one actual verse. I think he has one verse, but he does like a couple hooks. Like he does a few hooks. He's on some interludes. You know what I mean? He'll come in, kind of do a little post hook sometimes. But yeah, outside of some hooks and some interludes, I think one song he has a verse. But other than that, yeah, Snoop lets them have it. This is y'all record. You know what I mean? Some outros, he'll talk. it's perfect. Snoop's presence was perfect on this.
What do you guys think about style-wise? Style-wise, hearing Daz. Let's start with Daz.
Yeah. Daz, to me, like I said, he's like, I look at him like from as a rapper, it's like if Dr. Dre wrote his raps. You know what I mean? No diss to Dre, but like if Dre was like penning his rhymes, this is kind of what you would get. You know what I mean? Like Daz.
It's like smooth, cool.
Great delivery.
Street,
You got the street elements, smooth delivery. You know what I mean? Not quite a, like, kind of, you know, like you got, like, you know, DJ Quick, who's a rapper producer.
Yeah.
But Quick is a lot more animated.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whereas Daz is a lot more laid back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, he has times where he can get animated. That actually came more, you know, kind of later in his career. But at this point, Daz was really on his smooth tip.
Yeah.
And he just worked it perfectly with his beats.
What do you think, Mark,
Yeah,
about style?
Kurupt's lyricism is second to none at this
Yeah.
point. There's no one on the West Coast that can compete with that at this time.
Nope.
And then Daz's presence to help balance everything is crucial because you can't have two of the same people. You know, two of the same people on a duo like this. We've talked about it a lot, to where chemistry comes into play a lot with duos.
Yeah.
You know, and the most memorable ones have a contrast. You know, there's always going to be a yin to the yang.
Yeah, exactly.
And that needs to work harmoniously. And both of them have that, to where Kurupt could be lyrical and he could hit those capacities of where people understand and are receptive to it. And then Daz could just bring it all back down to just like, hey, look, I also bring my own style here too. That a lot of people can appreciate too. And, you know, he has a ace up his sleeve, to where Kurupt has his lyricism, but Daz, you understand that, oh, these are his beats. So he's in tuned more to the song than Kurupt is to a sense.
He knows all the details of this beat, of the snares and everything that's in it.
Yeah, so it's just, these songs are just an extension of him when it's not the lyrical part.
Right.
Yeah, and also I love their pacing too. The songwriting skills, like you could tell they're not just rapping, like they're trying to put together songs, joints, things you could dance to, things for the party, things for the cookout. Like, I love how they're making songs. You know, that's cool. But style wise, I feel like it reminds me similar to like I would say Mobb Deep, sort of, like, you know. Kurupt being like the Prodigy, and then Daz being like
Havoc. That's a good comparison. And I mean, we'll kind of get into it, you know, again, right before New York, but I mean, there was literally like connections there with all of that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's dope because even them being on Drink Champs, even, I mean, they're piecing it up with Nori.
Oh yeah,
like no, we're cool.
It was all love later on, absolutely.
So it's dope how it came full circle like that, man. It would have been so dope, man. We should have Biggie here. We should have Tupac here, man.
It makes you wonder, just like all the possibilities. As great as hip hop, you know, has become and has lived through and ups and, like, could you have imagined had that not happened?
I would say this place would definitely be a different world.
It'd
be a different world.
The whole timeline is just different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like so much changes. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate, but what we got from it, again, like you said, seeing Dogg Pound on Drink Champs with Nori, you know what I'm saying? It's just like crazy to see.
I love when he brought that up, because he was being asked about what his thoughts, Kurupt was being asked about what his thoughts were on AI and the industry going that route. He goes, man, let them have AI. Let them toy with that, man. They're not Kurupt. They're not Daz.
Come on now.
He goes, let them go ahead and have that. He goes, they're not them. And he goes, you want to know why they're not like them? Because I'm right here chilling with Nori right now. And we were enemies.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's real talk. That's real talk.
Have AI produce that. I'm like,
I mean, down to the point where, you know, Kurupt, you know, ends up having, you know, issues with DMX at one point. Obviously, they pieced it up years later. But while he was having issues with, you know, X and them on the song, he still shouts Nori out to let it know, like, oh, we had already squashed it. You know what I mean? Like, he shouts out the East Coast rappers the New York rappers that he's good with. You know what I mean? Because he was going at a lot of New York rappers at that time, but he made sure to shout out the ones he was cool with. Like, this is we not repeating that again. My issues with these people, these New York folks, we good. Like, and Nori was, you know, happened to be one of them. You know, he shouted out Nori, Cannabis, Wu-Tang. Like, he shouted out the ones he was good with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, that's just to see all the ups and downs in this. And again, it's just, like I said, it was the bad at first, which ended up becoming really good down the line.
Yeah. And the way they got connected again was Snoop. Daz called Snoop, wanted to come over to like talk about something, and then somebody calls Kurupt to come over. I don't know if it was Snoop or somebody. So Kurupt goes there, dabbing it up with Snoop, and then he just says whatever to. He didn't realize it was Daz. He was just like, "Yo, peace, man." And he goes, big headed motherfuckers. He goes, "Is this Daz?" Because he got blocked on IG and everything. Like, so it's just funny the way they came back. But it's dope that like no matter what, through all that, they realized now we gotta lay it down. We gotta do this.
Most definitely.
So looking at the album cover for those who are listening, we're looking at Kurupt and Daz front and center in leather jackets with black tees, and one has a Kangol on in the back. That's Daz.
Kurupt.
Oh, that's Kurupt. Sorry, my bad. And then Daz with the beanie on, and looking fly, man. You have Kurupt doing kind of the what do you call that? Like the thinking man,
Kind of
with his hand on his chin, and then Daz just front and center, just just looking straight into the camera. I got nothing to fear. I'm here. Like, what's up? Then you have the Dogg Pound on the bottom, written. I don't know, kind of in yellow, black calligraphy with the yellow outline, and "the" is with the THA. We had a lot of that back in like
very
the 90s,
popular.
spelling it differently.
That was a very popular thing back then.
Dog Food at the top, and then you have like a dog print in the back, kind of like
Paw
a Blue's
print.
Clues. Blue's Clues,
Yeah.
dog print.
Like a food label too.
Yeah, like a food label. What do you guys get out of looking at this? Does something speak out to you looking at the Dogg Pound cover here, or Dog Food cover?
I like how it's just simple. It's nothing. I mean, they wanted their visage in the forefront of it, which is cool.
What I like is that, a lot of times we see when album covers want to stand out, they usually choose red. I like how they choose yellow instead. Just something, that's a different kind of
Yellow,
technique,
black, and white.
to stand out versus, like I said, red's kind of the normal usage to stand out. Them using, yellow was kind of something different.
Yeah, I like the smoothness. They're kind of taking it back a little bit with the leathers, like kind of being like a classic man sort of deal here. So it shows you there's some sort of elegance to their street savviness, and I love that, man. And they're just kind of like a classic album when you have the duos standing next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any Easter eggs here other than the dog print in the back, signaling they're in that world. They're bringing you into that doggy.
Oh, the paw print in the background?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
The dog
yeah.
world.
Okay. I see it.
So
now.
they're bringing you into the world of the Dogg Pound, which I love. All right, so this time is when we get into the album. We choose 3 tracks out of the album that we want to cover, and we look into the lyrics, deep dive into what's being said, any special techniques that are going on, anything that we could kind of pick out of this and see what's the meaning here. So we're going to go ahead and get into 3 tracks, which we chose. It's going to be New York, New York. It's the first one. Let's Play House. And then the third one's going to be Dog's Day Afternoon.
Yep.
Dope title, too. Any honorable mentions for you guys? You guys have any honorable mentions?
For me, my honorable mention was Psycho Like No.
Ooh,
I just
okay,
like the beat on that, and then how they did the hook. That was something that they kind of used in other songs going forward, but it just was a real menacing type beat. But I mean, Daz and Kurupt just went crazy, and Malik as well.
Dogg
They
Pound
went
Gangsters
crazy.
was my honorable mention.
The intro,
DPG. Ooh,
that intro, that beat was
that's an anthem.
crazy.
And that's used later on. Snoop hails that DPG.
Yep.
That's one of my favorites there out of this. But also another shout out to where is it at? I liked.
I'll shout out "Do What I Feel," the one with Lady of Rage. Oh man.
Oh yeah, that was a good
Rage
one.
went crazy.
She
on
delivered,
that.
man.
Oh my gosh, she went crazy on that.
That was a dope one too. Reality was good too. But yeah, all in all, this album felt pretty smooth as you listen through it. Like it just felt very in sync with one another.
Cohesive.
Like, it slides into the next track like there's skits.
I
of the
love
radio
when
show.
albums do that.
Yeah,
I love when
that.
albums can just
What's
flows
his name?
naturally.
Easy Dick. Yeah, Easy Dick was on this, and it like
187.4 WOs.
Even the intro, it gives you a little intro, but it goes then right into the first song. I love that. So that was very dope of this album. So we go into New York being the first one.
Yeah,
this is a big track too.
This was big. I mean, again, the song itself. So it was never intended on being a diss record. It just wasn't. I mean, even when you look at the actual song, the lyrics, there's no lyrics in the song dissing New York as far as the verses and and all of that. You know what I mean? It really was supposed to be kind of a tribute, of Kurupt just displaying his lyricism and them giving a shout out to New York, even with the hook, because that's a Grandmaster Flash song with Melly Mel doing that. Right. That's where the hook came from. Unfortunately, again, this is right off the back of Suge doing what he did at the Source Awards. So New York sees West Coast dudes doing a song called New York, New York. Oh no, we're not having that. So literally in the trailer, they're in New York, and the word, at least I'm hearing that I've heard, was I think Biggie went on a radio station, was like, how we got these West Coast dudes out here doing a song called New York, New York, disrespecting us out here.
I didn't know Biggie went on air saying that.
So that happens, and right after that happens, I don't know, minutes, hours, whatever, their Dogg Pound, all of them is in the trailer, and about 4 or 5 shots was shot in the trailer, and their trailer gets shot up, and to the point where, because they were out there to shoot the video. Now, if you look at the video, there's parts in the video where they're outside playing in the snow and on the brownstones, having a good time. It's all happy-go-lucky because that's what the video was supposed to be. But after that incident where their trailer gets shot up, they reshoot some things. And one infamous thing is with Snoop knocking the buildings over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To the point where, years later, Jay-Z, makes the lyric, it's like New York's been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings.
Yeah.
You know what
That's
I mean?
a pretty big one.
And that's a big bar. And actually that bar.
The image of that, though, is
that
like.
image was crazy for Snoop to be, and this is Snoop at his height.
Right.
You know what I mean? And in the video, they got him all tall like Godzilla. He's just crushing buildings. And that was crazy.
Disrespect.
The disrespect out of this world. And that happened from the moment of them getting, shot at the trailer. And again, then this spawns New York to answer with LA with Capone and Nori, Mobb Deep, and Tragedy Gaddafi. And that song was hard too. So you get this back and forth thing going all in the middle of this East-West gumbo, if you will. And this song was just a spawn of it, to the point where, like I said, then when we finally get the album version, we'll see in the intro, they re-recorded, kind of, throwing some shots at New York slang.
Dang, that's crazy.
Again, that wasn't there at first until after the got shot at. So
you just a whole state.
All this stuff keeps coming.
Yeah.
And it was just like a powder keg that just kept building and building and building.
But the media, for those who don't know the context, the media perpetuated this. The media and then critics, built this up, this beef.
What started as an issue with two people
turned into
Knight,
a whole
Puff
coast
Daddy.
versus coast.
That's really, because people think it's Pac and Biggie. It's like, no, it was Suge Knight and Puff.
Yeah.
Their issue spawned all of this other stuff.
Yeah.
Which is really crazy how all that happened. But just giving context before we go into the song. The song itself isn't a diss, but like I said, just had to give context of what happened and things that made the song
the beat
bigger.
Is crazy.
Beats and actually the beat was used from Biggie in a St. Ides commercial.
Oh, really?
So there's an old St. Ides commercial where Biggie's rapping over this beat before the song ever came out.
Biggie on that beat?
Yeah, so they sampled that to make this beat, and then
Biggie's been known to do some West Coast records.
Mm-hmm. And for that, so that just all this stuff intertwining it's just crazy how it went. But yeah, Kurupt goes. This is actually Kurupt solo.
Yeah,
Daz doesn't have any verses on this. Is all Kurupt
and Snoop on the hook.
And Snoop on the hook. Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to do a Kurupt's first verse.
Okay.
Yeah, I do want to start.
New York, big city of dreams, and everything in New York ain't always what it seems. You might get
food if you come from out of town, but I'm down by law and I'm from the Dogg Pound. Now, before even the hook came on, you hear Snoop Like I said, he's like, turn the speakers up, money. Yo, God. Yo, God. Yo, I got mad skills. Like, that was those shots in New York. You know what I'm saying?
Mimicking
the slang. Mm-hmm. So they do the hook, and then Kurupt comes in. It's the incredible, the lyrical. You can't be me like Niecy. To see me is gonna take a miracle. I'm driving motherfuckers hysterical with a twist of this, with a touch of this twister, stylistic mixture. What I create pulsates. There is no escape. Annihilate your mental mind state. They labels my vocabulary abusive. I packs more knowledge than Confucius. I'm deadly. Induce you like Medusa with thoughts to share to throughout this hemisphere, far and near. Prepare. Catch me chilling like the winner up against the #1 contender as I enter. Cause
See, West Coast scene rapping like that.
No.
Rapping like that.
There was no West Coast rapper doing all of this. These patterns, the flow, the vocab, like they just, no one on the West was rapping like this.
No, it's like Confucius, like Medusa. No, they're not rapping like that.
The hemisphere far and near, like he was going crazy.
I like when the lyricism is, you know, when the lyricism is at a very high point, but you're also painting a picture. You're not just going there and just, you know, just rhyming for the sake of rhyming with things that just don't connect. But like I packs more knowledge than Confucius. I'm deadly, induce you like Medusa. Still keeping with the rhyme pattern. Still showing that, hey, look, Medusa freezes, keeps people in a stare.
Yeah.
And then even when he mentions Medusa, even throws the hemisphere far and near, knowing that the hemisphere is ever reaching.
Yeah, and this is already proclaiming his lyrical prowess.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Great introduction to it.
So, catch me chilling like the winner up against the #1 contender as I enter. Cause I gets heated like friction. Motherfuck your whole jurisdiction. React this fact, not fiction. Telepathic addiction to this homicidal recital. Dangerous and vital to all my rivals. Suicidal brain waves conveys through the average motherfuckers' minds these days. I'm all ready to put work in. Take 10 steps and turn to shoot the first smirking. Give a fuck what your name, what you claim, or how you came. Motherfucker, don't explain. Simply don't tip me, cause I'm simply laying hoes like Simpty, the invincible MC. Man. He was going in.
Yeah, I just like the ruthlessness. Like, you know, after all the lyricals, like, I don't give a fuck.
Give a fuck what's your name, what you claim. Like, he threw all that at the very end, like, to make it near. He went all these crazy patterns and all that, but he threw that emphasis. Like, even here they have, you know, fuck all caps.
Right.
Because that's how he said, give a fuck what's your name. Like, he meant that.
Right.
I like it how in lyrically he goes all the way up to high altitude and then brings it back down. Like a takeoff and a landing.
It was perfect.
And takes off with verse 2 again. He's give me a couple G's for every MC I knock to his knees. Verbally useless. Oh, you got the juice? I squeeze you juiceless. You got the juice now. The barbaric, versatile. You're no kin to me, so how the fuck you inherit my style?
It's crazy how his style is disguised in this West Coast G-Funk style.
Yeah.
But like if you're looking at this on paper, I don't get G-Funk. Like
you just reading the words, you don't hear that.
That's crazy.
That's true.
It's always been my theory that just lyricism, no matter what beat you could pick, you can always fit that in. You can't do the reverse where it's in a super outlandish style on complex beats.
Yeah.
You can't do the reverse of it.
That's true.
You're no kin to me, so how the fuck you inherit my style? Now, out the clear blue sky, I can't deny. Not a day goes by. Don't get high. Don't ask why. Tonight's the night for me to rip up microphones into bits and pieces. Lyrical telekinesis.
Rapping like he's freaking cannabis on this.
No, seriously, this
Corruptibus. Corruptibus.
I mean, that's why they ended up in the Four Horsemen.
Right.
Corruptibus.
More on that later.
Foreshadow.
Gets me into verbally vindictive, violent vocabulary, vibes to existence, via alliteration and providing, you know, it's great to do alliteration, and it's good to still take those V's and rhyme with them. Still.
Yes.
Gets me verbally vindictive, violent.
Stretch did that the craziest.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He did that the craziest.
Violently vocabulary vibes to existence. Catch me in the pitch black path, and I sit and I let the sick thoughts pass through my mental till I hear an instrumental. The detrimental verbals get to spitting. The highest in intellect try and connect with me. Try and connect it with the written. Now the face with the forbidden. vocally chosen to explore new terrain, then remain unseen through the war. What a picture is that?
Wow.
What a picture.
Wow.
The highest in intellect, try and connect with it. Connect it with the
written.
Now they're faced with the forbidden. Because going there hasn't been done before. Now it's forbidden. It's like a path that no one tries. Vocally chosen to explore new terrain. Like Indiana Jones in this beat right now. They remain unseen through the war. Dips like a Lolo with my verbal fofo.
But that takes it West Coast.
I know. Takes it right back. Yeah. See, he was very good with that.
With my verbal fofo, the cocoa complexion, MCs with the slow flow. For show, I takes you to the dough. Oh, no, it takes it to you from the dough, motherfucker. Mentally, I go hardcore.
You know.
I disconnect ya, corrupt ya, MC to vocally void your whole molecular structure. How'd you go from Lolo to vocally void your whole molecular structure?
Lolo, fofo from the dough, vocally void your whole molecular structure. Like, what?
Yeah, that's dope.
Catastrophic, mystic as mystipolistic.
Mixoplick.
Oh, Mixoplick. Oh, so yeah. So Mixoplick is, let's see, the DC Comics.
Mixoplick, that's crazy.
He's a DC Comics villain.
Ah, okay.
Hidden MCs like Pitts, the deadliest lyricist. MCs like Pitts.
Wow.
I've never heard of that comic character, but he looks crazy.
He looks insane.
He looks crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hidden MCs like Pitts, the deadliest lyricist. Pitts, maybe the seeds of the
could
seeds, peach seeds.
Maybe. Could be.
It's like Pitts, the deadliest.
I just, I have a sense of pride for the West Coast though, because you don't want to mess with the West Coast when you're talking about beef or war or battles.
Crazy. It gets crazy, man.
It gets dirty.
It gets foul.
Yeah, really quick.
And like I said, and then you add one that can rap like this.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. And then, we don't have just guys that are just like lows only. We have some lyrical guys too within that.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to be careful.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to be careful coming at the West Coast like that. But
yep.
I mean, case in point, Kendrick recently.
It could get ugly for you. And then, he has a very, quick third verse. I'll just go ahead and do it. Okay. He goes, every day I bust rhymes and recite in ways that make MC stop in daylight. I'm the deadliest MC you want to see on these streets. Invincibility is what makes me compete. Nah, you can't even fade me. I'll fuck you, your mama, your auntie, and your lady. And it just cuts off.
I will say, too, because I don't want those to think that I'm just like one dimensional here. I recognize as well the South. The South has their thing.
Yeah.
East Coast, same thing. They're the home base when you talk about
foundation,
lyrical, just rhyme patterns, schemes, techniques, like everything where it came from.
The foundation.
So like there's an understanding there too. And also too, like, East Coast people, they got it. You know what I mean? Like out of this, all this gangsta stuff, came groups like Mobb Deep, came groups like the Locks, and everybody like coming out of there, like, so it's equally just different. That's it. Everyone has, I think, a certain thing to them, each coast and region and all that. I mean, we even got to the point where we saw Chicago rise.
Yeah, the Midwest, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
It's all good, Zay. It's just beef.
It's just beef. What's beef?
It's just
okay. We move on to the second track, which is going to be "Let's Play House."
Oh man, this is one you throw on at the function.
Yeah,
this is one of those.
Like you can picture like just being at a barbecue.
This is one of those, like just a fun.
And I love those kind of records.
Yes, like this is just a fun record right here.
And this is also this is where Dr. Dre makes his only appearance.
Yeah. Like I said, there's only the only songs he messed this and Respect.
Oh yeah, he was on the
only times.
Just kind of says a little something
in the intro and keep it moving. And you got Nate Dogg and Michelle on the hook. Like
can't go wrong with that.
Amazing. That's
right. Some of the shit you just can't fuck with. Dogg Pound flavor for the non-fever.
They were just making up words.
Know what I'm saying? Michelle in the house. That's right. Set it off.
They do just make up 9.5 plus 4 pennies.
Yeah, 9.5 plus 4 pennies. The 9 trade. The 9 sizzle.
The 9 sizzle.
I mean, chronic is literally a made up phrase. The chronic.
Yeah.
That's literally a made up phrase too. That's crazy. Well, not phrase, but made up as far as the lingo to that.
Yeah.
Young Daz struck a match, and the match went out, but no more lights in the house. Check it out. Speaking of house, let's play a game of it. Are you with it? How to go get it? I bet you love it, baby. I'll play the daddy, and you could play the mama, so we could get down upon the living room floor. Are you with it? I promise I won't kill it. Putty cat on the loose. What should I do? Should I kill it? Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, Miss Chalet on there singing. But then, Miss Chalet singing, we ain't gonna, we ain't gonna kill her voice.
Yeah.
But then on the hook, I like how they did the Black Sheep, engine.
Oh yeah, they put a little
rolling down the DP line. And then you had Nate Dogg, let's play house. Like, he just was so smooth. Like, like this was just
he made everything sound
everything sound good.
No,
like anything. He took the words "oh no" and made it musical.
That's true.
Only Nate Dogg, man.
Yeah, that's true.
The only time you ever say "oh no" is when you're in trouble. He made it a single. Oh no,
right.
Hear the soul. Peace to Nate Dogg, man.
And then Daz, he was like, "I'm in the shack, about to blaze up a sack. Yeah, we grown all alone, posted up in the back. There's no mistaking, I can have the whole house shaking. Young Daz in that ass, baby doll, no faking. Don't get me wrong, tell me what's the flavor of the song. It's Daz in your drawers when your mama ain't home. Ring the alarm. I got your buzz loving me. Physically and mentally, I knew it was never meant to be."
Kurupt. I know you know this girl by name of Danielle. Body of goddess, face from hell. But
damn,
this wasn't the average trick. She got the bomb, and she like gobbling and swallowing the whole 9.5 of that black ass. Groupie. Now all the hoochies want to do me from the past to the present. Say what? Let me rep and present. Who dat? The biggest, hitting all the hoes in your clique. Fast as lightning, running through like the breeze in the summertime, out of the corners making G's. And it's the thirst, but I can show something much worse than the thirst. If worse came to worse, but first things first, Brenda, I can remember how hot you're getting, 87, 86. And yeah, the years a young man grows, some women become ladies, some turn into hoes. Damn. Young hoes grown, find a way to stay with me. In the cut with Kurupt, come and play with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like what he said. He said to the present, let me rep and present.
Oh yeah.
Like represent.
Switched it.
Yeah, how he kind of broke that up. I like how he did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just a cool, smooth record. Dope for the function. The hook is amazing, and then it's just one of them good ones, man. Like
descriptive.
Yeah,
so he can paint a picture for you.
Play the mama and I play the daddy.
He got the wordplay in there, so it's like there's more to him.
Oh yeah, too dope.
And the outro is just the same thing, huh? Yeah.
Yep, the hook.
But yeah, just a cool vibe of a track. You know, just playing it during a good time.
Oh
Can't
yeah,
go wrong.
Yeah, just playing house.
That's it.
We're going to the third track, which the third one is going to be
A Dog's Day Afternoon.
Dog's Day Afternoon.
Man, I want to do Kurupt's last verse.
Okay.
So verse 3.
Yeah, straight up 95, Kurupt, the motherfucker kingpin. Creeping and crawling through your hood, smoking, loking, provoking, punk motherfuckers
Here
like
we go
yourself.
again. Another example, just ad-libbing.
Now I like too that he mentioned too, because so before they meet Pac, so the little kind of aliases, you had Kurupt the Kingpin and then Daz. That's kind of what they were named.
That's a good little Easter egg.
then when Pac came home, he was kind of making nicknames for everybody. He had the Outlaws, gave them all their names, and then he made, because his thing was naming people after people that were hated in America.
Yeah.
That was kind of Tupac's thing. So he named Kurupt Young Gotti. And then, so when he did that, when Daz heard that, he was like, well, I'm going to be Daz Dillinger then. After John, I think the gangster's name was John Dillinger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where he got that from.
That's a dope little Easter egg there.
In the dead of winter is when I kick my coldest phrases. Mental as telepathy. Lyrically, it amazes. Construction of thoughts that's lethal as turpentine, paint thinner. An expert when I flex my rhymes, fear like ex-cons. In my zone, you
The
can't.
vocabulary, though.
Nuts.
Vocabulary, like,
Crazy.
Damn.
An expert when I flex rhymes, feared by ex-cons. In my zone, you can't even find like Atlantis. Stalked like a praying mantis, leaving battered bodies on the
This is like
canvas.
stuff like this. You find this out of the Wu-Tang, like
Yeah.
you know, this is like that kind of level of
For
like
sure.
vocabulary.
Nuts.
The burial ground for clowns, open casket, tracking down like fucking basset hounds. Ooh, nice.
Nuts.
Tragic how the mic gets handled. Prodigious like a vandal on a midnight scandal. So prodigious being a heavy in volume. Just prodigious like a vandal on a midnight scandal. You scramble like Randall.
Randall Cunningham.
Oh yeah, scrambling Randall Cunningham. Quarterback for Philadelphia Eagles. Abusive when I recite on the stage. Double access with the brand new motherfucking mic.
Nice.
Is this your verse?
No, it's your verse.
Okay. Now, can I grab the microphone and spit some shit that's known to blow the mind of Michelangelo's poems?
I think that's a mistype. I think he said Maya Angelou's poems.
Okay, Maya Angelou's poems. Clones get crushed like stones. I forbid for Buster motherfuckers to be acting like they all in with the click. I checks that shit. And once again, it's on with the gangster shit. I create the beats that fucks right out of your speakers. Amps are blown, shown for me to grab the microphone alone, like Jodeci. Notice, see, yourself needs help. The homie style got the strap on the deck. Don't neglect the fact that I make you and break you. Wake you to the new plateau with mo hoes. To a new plateau with mo hoes.
Plateau with mo hoes.
With moho.
Now the paper is made. I don't think twice. It's getting pimped because the game ain't tight. Now, well. Now welcome where the ballers dwell. Another day, another dollar, blueberry to sell. I makes the fast cash, Daz. I'm quicker to outlick ya, blast ya, then dash. Very precise precision with the quick little words in there. Like
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's precise.
This might be my favorite Kurupt verse ever. Like I just love this verse. He goes, DPG eliminates the whole area beyond the thought dismembering. Motherfuck surrendering. Who, what, when, let's tear shit the fuck up. The homies cooling while you win. Your chest get fucking blue in. Provokers. Survey with the superior focus. I'm not like Daz. Crooked as scoliosis. It's impossible to survive. On my arrival, when I arrive, it's left to your instinct on survival. Mashing. Cashing in chips, I got a sick mind. Finding you're mentally sick and better. It doesn't matter when you're entering. You just entered in the war zone all alone with your microphone unguarded. I just started. Poetical poltergeist, precise and cold-hearted. Empty. Tempt me. Simply you get shot. You forgot. I'm down to empty out my clip on your block. Stop. Make the whole place evacuate. Wait until we face to face, then it escalates. Dug down. Corrupt clowns. His daily hoes can't play me. Observe, I serve those that betray me. Man.
yeah. Wow.
He said, you just entered in the war zone all alone with your microphone unguarded. I just started. Poetical poltergeist, precise and cold-hearted.
He's going for the jugular.
That
for sure.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Empty. Tempt me, simply you get shot.
Like he just went nuts right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Kurupt was known to do. Like he'll have like these freestyles. They don't have it on stream, but they had a song on the B side of Dre Day called Puffin' Blunts and Drinking Tanqueray, where literally it's just it's Daz, Lady of Rage, and Kurupt just high and drunk freestyling, and Rage goes crazy. Daz, and then like Rage, I think her verse might have been like 24 bars. I think Daz might have had like a regular 16, and then Kurupt goes for like 40. Like he just blacks out for like 40 bars. It is insane. Like so, this whole era, this was like the prime showcase of Kurupt as the MC.
Yeah, good point.
His coming out party, if you will.
For sure.
And takeaways from this album being dropped. What do we take away from this one?
This to me is the one that, you know, like I said, the West had already made hits. The West had already been selling records. But this is one of the first two times where, I mean, the West had our own brand of, you know, consciousness kind of from Ice Cube. But I feel like this was one of the first ones where you get to see, okay, we can bar it up too. You know what I mean? From Kurupt at least. Like, you really seeing like a real true lyricist. Yes, he's originally from Philly, but this is a West Coast MC through and through.
Yeah.
And he can go bar for bar with anybody.
To knock it out without Dre's production,
Correct.
is crazy wild.
That was huge.
Coming out of Death Row, and Dre didn't even touch the production.
Not one beat.
Yeah.
Nope. This was all the beats are made by Daz.
crazy.
That's when you have two producers to worry
Right.
about.
Yes.
That's a very good roster to have as far as producers go.
Yeah.
Because you could see on the debut album, like, oh man, these beats are dope. Yep. These beats are dope.
Yes.
We're not going to need a lot of Snoop Dogg on this. We're not going to need a lot of Dr. Dre on this. We can hold our own.
Yes.
We can hold our own because
this really proves it. Literally.
Yes.
Because there's a formula to this. There's something that both of them have, and they realize. And for the sake of just to put this out there, a duo doesn't come together for the sake of something done forcefully.
No.
There has to be something that established them to be like, yo,
There's a connection.
yeah. I personally feel that it's always the first thing, like, yo, like, the vibe's there.
Yeah.
The connection's there first, maybe on a social level, and then after that, they're like, yo, they both make music. The obvious point,
team up.
and then they team up, and then it goes from there. The one thing that I really like about this album is that this is just the first of many consistent efforts that they produce.
100%.
Yeah, and they always give their best too.
Yeah.
It took me years. As a kid, I always thought that Dogg Pound was like childhood friends. Like, I just thought that they grew up together because their synergy was just so great. Like, you look at a Mobb Deep, they grew up together.
Yeah.
Outkast, they knew each other since high school. I just figured, Daz and
must have known
Kurupt.
each other for
I
a
just
long
figured
time
they
or
knew
something.
each other since they were kids, and no, they literally met just
Professionally.
professionally on Death Row. You know what I mean? Snoop hooked them up like right before the whole Death Row situation took off. So it's just, to me, it's just crazy how their chemistry, their synergy has just been that good all these years, and they met basically professionally first.
And they made the whole Dogg Pound viable.
Yes, for sure.
It wasn't just them saying that on a record, like Snoop just dropping that. They made it a real
They
thing.
made it a brand.
It was
You know what I mean?
Dogg Pound for real.
And to the point where, Dogg Pound, yes, is the group Daz and Kurupt, but when they really say like Dogg Pound or Dogg Pound Gangsters, that includes Snoop, that includes Nate Dogg, that includes Superfly, Trey D, like Badass,
Rage.
like it's a whole, it's like a whole clique of dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's why you'll see them kind of collaborate on their projects as well. So this was just the first effort of many good records from Dogg Pound, and like I said, for me, this is like on the Mount Rushmore of the Death Row albums: Chronic, Doggystyle, All Eyez on Me, and Dogg Food.
To be on that plane with those three albums, that says something. To
Yeah.
be number one U.S. Billboard 200,
Come
also
on now.
the Hot 100, man.
And like I said, this era, like I said, the West was kind of running things, but the year 95 was kind of a quieter year for the
Yeah,
West Coast.
yeah.
This is kind of the
This
year
is before the implosion
New York,
of Death Row.
this was kind of the year New York kind of like finally kind of like stepped back up in the game, where Biggie was the hottest thing out. Wu-Tang with all the solo albums,
Right.
Mobb Deep drops. Like, New York had a very big 95, but to close it out, it was kind of like the West was like, okay, y'all had it. Now we about to show y'all what's about to come. And this was kind of the precursor to them getting Pac out of jail, and we all know how that went. You know what I'm saying? So, this was history.
So you guys got to check out this album. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts were on the album, or, what tracks that you liked. Have you seen them in person? Have you met them? Let us know, like, anything about, that you have an insight. The conversation continues. And of course, we're dropping episodes every Monday, so make sure you're on the lookout for that. We appreciate your support. We need it more than ever right now. The next goal is to hit 5,000 on YouTube, and we're almost there. So we just need your support to get that push, and we should hit it, man. Hopefully, we can do it before next year. Before next year starts.
Yes. If we can hit 5,000 before the end of 25, that's great.
That'd be awesome. So, Mark, go ahead and let him have it, man.
To the MCs, drop a mic, drop a like.
Yes, sir.
Share, subscribe.
Yeah. DMX should have been on the Dogg Pound. Man, that would have been crazy.
You imagine?
What? You got real barking.
Yeah.
You got
Got real barking with the
actual
dog pound.
dog in it.
That would have been a crazy recruit.
Nuts.
If Snoop recruited him,
Crazy. Peace.